What is gravity force? With the curvature of space, now we have for 100 years idea that gravity is the result of the curvature of space. I have to disappoint you that curvature of space is just a mathematical model. Universal space has Euclidean shape, and gravity is not carried by the curvature of space. Sorry, but that's the fact. So we have two physical objects, and we know that there is a gravity force between them. The idea that gravity force is something similar to electromagnetism, this idea is also pure illusion. Because we know exactly how matter is producing photons, electromagnetic radiation, and how matter is receiving, is absorbing photons. So this idea that gravity is something similar to electromagnetism is a false idea. It makes no sense. Now, the force that would pull together two physical objects was never observed, or the carrier of the force. Okay, so Einstein had a good intuition that there is a space that is carrying gravity. And he did this with the geometrization of gravity, with the curvature of space. But this is not the actual physical reality. This is only a mathematical model. Now, what I did the step, what I believe is the next step is that every physical object is diminishing energy density of space exactly for the amount of its energy. This is the extension of the mass energy equivalence principle on the universal space. Universal space is a type of energy. And what was here also excellent Einstein intuition, that this space, universal space, is not three-dimensional, but is a four-dimensional. Universal space has an actual four-dimension. This is not something that's only a mathematical reality. Here Einstein was right. Universal space is four-dimensional reality. In the old times, this was called ether. Ether is a fundamental energy of the universe that has four dimensions. And when we have two objects, the two objects, they diminish energy density of superfluid space, so-called ether, and they create an area where the energy density is lower. And the outer space with higher energy density is pressing together this lower area. And this is gravity force. Gravity force is a pressure force, is a pushing force from higher energy density to the lower energy density. And as physical objects are three-dimensional, they are following this pressure. I hope that this can be understood well. So every physical object is existing in four-dimensional reality, so four-dimensional superfluid space. And now why this is falling? This is falling because the gravity vector, which is in the space, is acting on this, not directly on this physical object, but on the local space that is around this, that in which this physical object exists. So gravity force is four-dimensional force. It's not three-dimensional. Three is four, and is acting in the space. And physical objects are following this force, because physical objects are in the four-dimensional local spaces with the diminished energy density, and they are automatically following. This is the good example is when you have, for example, you have three-dimensional Euclidean space. And in this Euclidean three-dimensional space, you have a flat surface, which is two-dimensional. So when you move this three-dimensional space, then also this two-dimensional space will move. In the same way, the pressure that is four-dimensional, actually, the gravity force is four-dimensional, will also move three-dimensional objects. So there is absolutely no some elementary particle running between physical object and creating gravity force. They have to drop this if you want to progress physics. And you maybe this is difficult to understand, but once again you look the figure, the picture, which is at the beginning of this video, and you will see that this is actually the only logical idea about gravity. Actually, Einstein used to say that matter is curving space and then it's following curvature of space. Here is a bit advanced in the sense that this is now a physical model. Matter is diminishing energy density of space, and this is generating gravitational mass. Because gravitational mass, a given physical object, is diminishing energy density of space, so this vector in space, gravitational vector, is pointing towards the center of the physical object, and the gravity vector is at the maximum on the object surface, stellar object or whatever object surface, and when you go inside, then it diminish with the Newton shell theorem. That's why this whole idea about what is happening in black holes and gravity, for 100 years, we have a wrong idea. Also inside gravitational black holes, the same law of gravity is valid as for any other stellar object, and this is Newton's shell theorem. I know it will be difficult to digest this, but this is a fact. So happy Christmas, everybody.